Pew Research would go ahead and say that only 37% of millennials, including myself, are actually leaning right. At which point, I want to have this conversation with you about repealing the NFA and 80% lowers ghost guns. De Leon, it's freaking out about. So the big problem is that I noticed, and I'm going to bring out old stuff like a ex-girlfriend, but you had a strong stance on background checks with Piers Morgan and Mark Rubin. And you have people like Cody Wilson coming out talking about 80% lowers and bringing it out. But granted, he's a crypto anarchist. So my question to you is, how do you feel about that 100% freedom of what the Second Amendment guarantees? Because the argument against it is generally the registration, like car registration.
Okay, so first of all, the Second Amendment does not guarantee absolute freedom to own any weapon you want. You can't own a nuclear weapon in your backyard. I'm sorry to break it to you, but nobody can do that, right? Like there are, as everyone acknowledges this, the NRA acknowledges this, right? There are restrictions on weapons ownership that are not unreasonable, like owning a nuclear weapon. Where you draw the line is another story. The problem that I have with a lot of left policy is that it's not actually designed at lowering the crime rate or stopping violence. It's designed at actually taking guns away from people as a general matter. And so, if there's a lot there in that question. But if the question is about background checks, my biggest objection to background checks is the idea that not the idea that I want criminals to get guns, because I don't. It's that these background checks have been utterly ineffective in stopping crimes. It's not an effective crime fighting tool. It's just a burden on law-abiding gun owners that doesn't actually achieve anything. We have universal background checks in the state of California. It hasn't stopped gun crime one whit. So, it seems to me that what you actually need is more law-abiding citizens with more guns to shoot the bad people who also have guns.
So we would agree on that. Exactly.